أصحاب المعالي والسعادة حضرات المندوبين الموقرين أعلن انعقاد المائدة المستدامة.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will now convene the first roundtable entitled The Case for Peace, Advancing the Two-State Solution Through Narrative Measures and International Law. Joining us at the podium for this segment of this meeting is Her Excellency Mary Robinson, former President of Ireland, former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, and former Chair of the Elders. We warmly welcome her presence today. In accordance with the program circulated, we will first hear interventions by the co-chairs of thematic working groups 3, 7, and 6. I would like to remind that all interventions are limited to 3 minutes and should be made from your seat. After the interventions by the co-chairs, we will hear a keynote address by our guest speaker.
أدعو الآن ممثلة أدعو الآن ممثل.
I now invite the distinguished representative of Qatar, His Excellency, to deliver his remarks for Working Group 3.
شكرا سمو الأمير.
Thank you, Your Highness, Excellencies. May the peace of God be upon you. First, at the outset, I would like to express our appreciation for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of France for chairing this conference, and we appreciate the efforts made to prepare for this conference and the efforts of all the co-chairs of the conference working groups. Since the announcement of this conference, we have sought to support and actively play a role in this conference, and we chaired with Mexico and Canada the working group related to the case for peace. And this is an important topic for Qatar, where we have worked on justice, inclusivity, and peace, and establishing peace through dialogue and peaceful coexistence, and supporting development and education and the role of youth. The active participation of Working Group 3 in the conference came through the co-chairs, Qatar, Mexico, and Canada, making efforts over the last weeks to engage in a consultative process with stakeholders from member states and international organizations and non-governmental organizations by first developing a concept note on the narratives of peace and proposed questions to guide the discussion. We received written contributions from stakeholders in addition to oral contributions through the meetings that were held by the working group at the UN HQ last month. Based on this, we presented to the co-chairs of the conference a summary of the specific proposals and projects that we agreed to. I would like to highlight a number of elements that were included in the deliberations of Working Group 3. First, it is clear that there is a consensus that peace narratives should be within a framework that is related to international law, human rights, and international resolutions, and that lasting peace can be established through a two-state solution, which includes the establishment of an independent Palestinian state on the borders of 1967 with East Jerusalem as its capital. Second, it was emphasized that there is a need to deal with the root causes of the conflict, in addition to recognizing the humanitarian suffering. It was also emphasized that the occupation cannot ensure security. One of the fundamental topics addressed by the working group is the need to build trust through mutual respect, coexistence, and humanitarian issues by focusing on these topics. Fourth, it was emphasized that measures should be taken against hate speech and incitement to violence. This needs to be dealt with. Fifth, some of the topics that were included was the importance of protecting independent media and journalists and the need to combat disinformation. Sixth, the role of education was highlighted as essential for promoting peace. Seventh, it was noted that there is a need to engage active actors, specifically women and youth, and to have platforms and programs for dialogue between both parties. Eight, it was also included that we must benefit from previous successful experiences to promote peace. The essential role of civil society was also highlighted. In closing, we hope that the consultation meetings of the working group will lead the conference to take outcomes that will make sure that the international community will undertake its responsibilities regarding the Palestinian state to take future steps, and that this will be a basis for the work in the future, and that there needs to be an active follow-up for proposals and initiatives. We also look forward to have this conference participate in the establishment of an independent Palestinian state that is sovereign, geographically contiguous, with sovereignty on the borders of 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital, that has international recognition and the UN membership that it deserves. Thank you.
شكرا. والآن نعطي